Hey YouTube, this is DJ Advice, aka DJ Advice, also DJ Morrow. Hey, I had a call earlier, yesterday, and today's October 16th, and so I'm gonna put it out there because this lady was frantic on the line, and I didn't know what. She was, I got a weird question for you, so well, give it to me because I said I've heard it all, so nothing's unusual for me, especially if it's a call. So I said, well, what seems to be the problem? She says, well, my son, which he just started out DJing, is going to be DJing a school gig. So I said, oh, okay, well, that's not so strange. And she said, well, there's more. And she goes, they're requiring that he has liability insurance up to $1 million. I go, okay, and he doesn't. So I've been calling everybody in town. I've been looking everywhere. I've been going here and there. So she's desperate. So she's calling me and saying, I said, well, first of all, the liability insurance I have is yearly, and also another thing is through my business. And I said, I'm not really having to worry about that. But I did say, give her some advice. I said, look, you can still get insurance, and you can probably get it by today. So I gave her some information. I said, you can't do it, just go into an insurance place and they're going to give you event insurance. They might, but not everybody has that underwriter, what they call an underwriter. So I said, you might consider going on the net and go to eventinsurance.com, or just go to event insurance, search, and you'll find a lot of vendors out there selling liability insurance. And whatever suits you, she asked me which one would you suggest. I said all of them are pretty good, just as long as they're reputable. You just do the research, you can do it. So anyway, she says, okay, I'll try that. So today she calls me and said, which is October 16th, she says, thank you so much. And I said, well, did you get this? She said, oh yeah, I got it, and I just wanted to thank you because now my son can do this. Well, the reason I'm doing this gig is because there are DJs, believe it or not, that do gigs and do not consider insurance whatsoever. In fact, they're always taking this risk that if something happens, they're going to come after them, but they don't realize that, or they think that nobody can. But if you're doing an event like that, you should consider it, or any event, really, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of times that's something that you don't, it's like driving a car without insurance. Are you guilty of that? If you are, then you probably won't get insurance for your event. So anyway, also another thing I'm bringing this up was because if there is a DJ out there that is looking for insurance, and I mean, let me put it this way. If you're doing gigs, like 3 gigs every week, and you have like maybe 12 DJs working under you, you're going to need insurance, okay? But if you're just a DJ that does it occasionally, and maybe you have 1 gig now, you have another gig maybe in 3 months from now, maybe 6 months down the road you might have another gig, and you're just doing it kind of partially part-time per month, well, then you might consider just getting liability through the internet, like event insurance, which they do sell, and you can get up. They sell, I think, $1 million. They have I think up to $5 million. I think you get. So it depends. On an average, that insurance, on an average, I checked it out since I've talked to this lady. On an average, they charge about $100. So what I would suggest is that you charge for, include that in your event. In other words, if you're going to do an event, include that in your price. So that way, they understand that you're covered and they're covered, and you don't have to worry. Because a lot of establishments, hotels, schools, restaurants, I mean, even if they have liability, you still have to, they still want it. You've got to produce that document that says that you're covered. So for those people, I'm just giving you those DJs advice that for insurance especially, because you don't want to be the one. When I went to a Mobile Beat event in '92, there was this DJ that told a horror story, which it woke me up, and he was telling me how he had this humongous trust. I mean, they had a big trust. This was a big trust. I mean, not a normal trust, just a big trust Back then the lights were heavier. They had these big old PAR lights and all kinds of things going on. These lights were heavy and massive, and so was the truss. I guess whoever secured the truss didn't secure it properly. It came crashing down on 4 students. This was a school event. Coincidentally, it was a school event, and so it hurt four of the kids. One broke their arm. The other one's got big old, stitches on their head. It was a big old mess, and that was a big old horror story. But anyway, come to find out that he had $1 million liability insurance, but that didn't cover the lawsuits that were coming afterwards. So he says now that he did it, now he's an S corporation. I have no idea what S corporation, but I guess it covers you from being sued for your house and things. They can't come after you for certain things. But I would check with a lawyer on that, S corporation. I believe that that's a way to protect yourself if you're one of these big production kind of DJs or have a lot of DJs under. So S corporation is something to look into. But anyway, I just want to address that because it was very. I was thinking the other day, those DJs that are out there doing gigs and don't have insurance, they might just consider getting event insurance for that, just for that event, and adding it onto your bill. That way you don't have to worry, and the customers don't have to really worry. So, well, they don't really have to worry, but they're not going to come after you if something happens because of you. So just understand that it's just common sense to have insurance. I know a lot of those that are working for agents probably already have it through your agent. If your agent's smart enough to have insurance or liability, you should be covered. But just check just in case, okay? Anyway, just want to let you know, DJs out there on YouTube, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully it was insightful. I'm sure it might have been covered already, but just want to let you know. Good gig and God bless, and we'll see you later. Bye now.